Breaking tonight back at home, Coleraine police announce arrests in a cold case involving the murder of a pregnant woman.
So this all happened back in 2023. 26-year-old India Kinamore was pregnant when she was shot on Hidden Meadows Drive. She and her unborn child were killed. Tonight, Coleraine police announcing the arrests of 3 men for the murders. 20-year-old Robert Irvin, 30-year-old Kayvon Warren, and 22-year-old Lamar Suggs are all charged with 2 counts of murder.
The victim was India Kinamore, 26 years old, a mother, a young woman carrying a new life within her just hours away from being induced, ready to welcome her precious child into the world. But instead of a newborn's first cry, the air was shattered by gunfire and blood spread across the floor.
Fuck you, family bitch!
The only question echoing across Cincinnati that day: who could be cruel enough to kill a pregnant woman on the most important day of her life? This was not just a murder. It was a tragedy 2 years in the making, with secrets lurking in the shadows until the truth emerged, exposing the real faces of the killers, one of them among India's closest. Before we begin unraveling each chilling detail, take a moment to hit like and subscribe. Because here, we bring you true crime stories, real tragedies, where every share, every follow, helps the voice of justice echo louder and stronger. India Kinamore, a name that would later dominate every local headline, was, in truth, just an ordinary young woman with dreams as simple as anyone else's. Born and raised in Cincinnati, she became a mother at a young age. Her first son, a 6-year-old boy, was her greatest hope, the driving force behind her every effort to keep going each day. Friends remembered India vividly, always smiling, loving to make TikToks about motherhood, sharing tips for raising a little one, capturing warm, ordinary moments of everyday life. She wasn't a celebrity, but she had her own following, people who found in India a sense of closeness, authenticity, and the quiet positivity she brought to every short video.
Hey guys, let's do a pregnancy bump update. So I am now, get this fucking baby out of me, weeks along. The baby is the size of a fucking whale and what sounds like at least 5 painful stitches. My main symptom is bitch.
In those clips, we saw a young mother building a small world full of love for her son. India worked hard, juggling different jobs to support him. No complaints, no bitterness. For her, happiness was simple: her child's smile, a peaceful home, and the belief in a better future. Then Kayvon Warren entered her life. A 30-year-old man with a calm, seasoned demeanor, someone India believed could help her build a complete family. At first, the relationship seemed picture perfect. They went out to eat, took walks, snapped photos together. Kayvon even appeared in a few of India's TikTok videos, smiling beside her like a man ready to be both a father and a husband. And when India became pregnant, it seemed like everything was moving toward a new future. She shared the good news on social media, proudly showing her growing belly, speaking about becoming a mother for the second time with a joy that anyone could feel. But few knew that behind those happy photos, behind those warm smiles, a dark seed had already begun to take root. A cruel truth that even India herself couldn't have imagined. The man she trusted the most was harboring a sinister secret, waiting for the day it would erupt. Pregnancy is often a time filled with anticipation for any mother. For India, it was a source of pride, a hope for a fresh start for both her and her little boy. On TikTok, she kept sharing moments of her growing belly, talking about morning sickness, about dreams of the day her baby would arrive. People saw in India a simple yet complete kind of happiness. Yet behind the scenes, Kayvon began showing strange signs. He no longer seemed excited when India talked about him becoming a father again. When she mentioned plans for naming the baby, setting up the nursery, or doing a family photo shoot, Kayvon would stay silent or avoid the topic altogether. Those close to him later revealed Kayvon had confided to a few friends that he didn't want another child. That life with a new baby would be a burden, a chain, but he never said it directly to India. In front of her, Kayvon kept playing the role of the decent man posing for glowing maternity photos, appearing in TikTok clips with a faint smile, just convincing enough to fool everyone. Even in the final days of her pregnancy, when India excitedly shared her induction date with the doctor, Kayvon only nodded dismissively. No anger, no arguments, no open objections, just a strange, chilling silence that no one paid much attention to until everything fell apart. Looking back, those were the warning signs, the odd moments that, when pieced together, revealed a terrifying picture. A man growing increasingly distant from his own unborn child, and from the woman about to bring that child into the world. But India had no idea. To her, Kavon was just stressed about money or work. She didn't know that, in silence, a deadly plan was taking shape. One that would turn the 4th of March, 2023, the day meant to be the happiest of her life, into a blood-stained day of fate. In the final weeks of her pregnancy, as India eagerly prepared to welcome her child, Kavon Warren had already set in motion a chilling plan no one could have foreseen. Not a spur-of-the-moment impulse, but a scheme scheduled and calculated with cold precision, its sole purpose: to eliminate the very woman carrying his own child. According to later investigation records, Kavon confided to a few close friends that he was not ready to be a father again. But instead of choosing to walk away or take responsibility, he chose the cruelest path: to end the lives of both mother and child, cutting off every tie in the most merciless way. In Kavon's circle of friends were Robert Irvin, 20, and Lamar Morris Suggs, 22. The three of them exchanged countless texts and calls, meticulously planning the date, the approach, and most importantly, how to get into India's home without raising suspicion. What sent chills through everyone was that Kavon himself paved the way for the killers. He knew India's exact appointment with the doctor on the morning of the 4th of March, 2023, when she would be induced. He knew her young son usually slept in the next room, and he knew that as long as the door was left unlocked, everything would be so much easier. Messages later recovered by police revealed this. Kavon promised to leave the door unlocked so that Lamar the shooter could slip in at dawn, while India and her son were fast asleep. Everything was planned for speed, silence, and no trace left behind. In those final days, India kept posting on TikTok, showing off her baby bump, talking about the joy of becoming a mother again. She had no idea that the man she trusted most was preparing to turn her apartment into the scene of a horrific crime. On the night of the 3rd of March, Kavon still spoke to India as if nothing were wrong. He texted her good night. He left the door unlocked. And somewhere out there, the killers were waiting for the signal to begin a plan that would shake Cincinnati for years to come. At dawn on the 4th of March, 2023, while all of Coleraine Township lay silent, tragedy struck. Around 4:30 a.m., in the small apartment on Hidden Meadows Drive, the crack of gunfire echoed the night. India's 6-year-old son woke with a start. In the darkness, he heard his mother screaming, heard unfamiliar footsteps storming into the house, and then gunshots ringing out again and again. Panicked, the boy grabbed the phone with trembling hands, calling his grandmother. "Mom's been shot. Someone's in the house shooting Mom. She's screaming." Police received the emergency call at 4:36 a.m. When they arrived at the scene, they were met with a sight no one ever wants to witness. India Kenmore lying motionless, her body marked by multiple fatal wounds. In a desperate attempt, paramedics fought to save the baby still inside her womb, but it was far too late. The day India was supposed to hear her child's first cry became the day both mother and baby left this world together. When the news broke, the local community was shaken to its core. A 9 months pregnant woman, murdered in her own home, in front of her 6-year-old son. The cruelty of this crime was beyond comprehension. And then, like a cruel performance, Kavon Warren, India's boyfriend, the father of the unborn child, appeared on social media with words of grief. "Baby, I'm hurting so much. I love you both so much." Those posts drew sympathy from everyone. Friends offered their condolences. No one suspected a thing. On the surface, Kavon was the grieving father, the boyfriend who had lost everything. Meanwhile, police were left grasping at nothing. No leads, no suspects, no answers. The case quickly fell into deadlock. India's family waited in agony for justice, while the public could only pray for the young mother and the child who never got the chance to be born. But beneath that facade of calm, the pieces of truth were waiting to be assembled. And once they fell into place, All of Cincinnati would shudder at the identity of the mastermind. After that fateful night, Coleraine Township was gripped by grief. Residents lit candles to pray for India and the baby who never got the chance to be born. Her family knocked on the doors of every authority, desperate for answers, for someone to be held accountable. But, month after month, the case remained frozen in place. Police said they were investigating, but there were no witnesses who saw the killer's faces. No cameras captured them entering or leaving the apartment. The only clues were the gunshots in the night and the terrified account of a 6-year-old boy. Meanwhile, Kavon Warren, the man believed to be suffering the greatest loss, remained free. He attended the funeral, cried, accepted condolences from neighbors and friends. On social media, he posted messages of grief and remembrance. No one suspected a thing. He was too good at hiding. Time kept moving. 1 year, then 2. India's family began to fear the case would fade into oblivion. But behind the scenes, police kept working quietly. They gathered phone data, text messages, GPS locations from the night of the 4th of March, 2023. They traced the money trail, the secret calls, the seemingly harmless chats, and slowly, piece by piece, the picture began to emerge. There were messages between Kavon and his friends. Data showed one suspect's car near India's apartment at the exact time of the murder. Conversations surfaced about leaving the door unlocked. The final piece fell into place in August 2025. After 2 years, police announced they had identified the mastermind, the accomplices, and the shooter. And every single one of them was chillingly familiar. In August 2025, after 2 years of silent investigation, the Coleraine Township Police held a press conference. All of Cincinnati seemed to hold its breath as the first name was spoken, Kavon Warren, 30 years old. The boyfriend, the father of the unborn child, was the mastermind. Alongside him were Robert Irvin, 20, the accomplice in charge of surveillance and communication, and Lamar Morris Suggs, 22, the one who pulled the trigger. All three were charged with 2 counts of murder, one for India and one for the innocent child still in her womb. At the first hearing, prosecutors unveiled a chilling set of evidence. Text messages between Kavon and his accomplices discussing leaving the door unlocked. Location data placing Irvin and Suggs's car near the apartment just before the shooting. Security cameras capturing their figures lurking around the area at the time of the crime. Prosecutors emphasized one key point. The main motive was that Kavon didn't want India to have the baby. He had begged her to terminate the pregnancy, and when she refused, he chose to end both lives instead. In court, Kavon's defense attorney tried to argue that he had no prior record, held a steady job, and never fled during the 2-year investigation. But the prosecutor replied coldly, "A man willing to destroy his own family leaves no one in this society safe if he remains free." The judge set bail at $600,000 for each defendant. India's family sat in the courtroom, quietly crying as the recording of her final screams from that night was played. 2 years of waiting, 2 years of living in pain and uncertainty. Now, at last, justice had begun to speak. The trial ended with cold, unfeeling numbers. 3 men charged with 2 counts of murder, hundreds of pages of investigation records, and a $600,000 bail set for each defendant. But for India Kenmore's family, no verdict could ever fill the void left by her and the unborn child. That mother once smiled in TikTok videos, talking about the joy of being a mom, about reading bedtime stories to her child every night. Now, those clips still live online, but the woman in them is gone forever. India's story is a chilling reminder that violence in relationships often doesn't begin with fists or gunfire, but with silent signs. A partner growing distant, a cold stare, a dismissive word. India didn't see those signals, or perhaps she believed they were only temporary pressures. But the truth is, sometimes the person you trust the most is the one most dangerous to you. Even more painful was how the case dragged on for 2 years before justice finally spoke. During all that time, India's family lived in torment, while the mastermind played the role of the grieving father, the heartbroken man accepting condolences he never deserved. When police revealed the truth that Kavon Warren, the boyfriend, the father, was the one who opened the door for the killer. The entire Cincinnati community was shaken. No one imagined that such a brutal crime could be orchestrated by the same man who once held India close in family photos, who once said he loved her in front of everyone. This story is a wake-up call for all of us. Listen to your instincts when they tell you something feels wrong. Pay attention to subtle changes in the behavior of those around you. And most importantly, speak up when you see signs of violence or control in a relationship, even in its most hidden forms. For those watching this video, remember, no one should have to suffer in silence. If you or someone you love finds themselves in danger, seek help before it's too late. India Kenmore's story will forever remain a scar on the heart of the Cincinnati community. But if from this pain we learn to recognize the signs of abuse, to protect those most vulnerable, then at least her death and that of her unborn child will not be in vain. And before this video ends, if you believe stories like this need to be told, that need to be heard, then please hit like, subscribe, and share this video. Your support helps us continue to bring these chilling, haunting cases to light, stories that, one day, might just save someone out there.
A bitch feeling the way about me, but you want a phone hoe? Get off the phone and get in the field. Get your lick back, bitch. Get the troops. Round them up. Let's start a war.
I walk in every room as myself. I don't walk in any room as anyone else. I'm not cowering. I'm not speaking soft. My voice doesn't change. It sounds exactly the same way. I'm walking as myself and proud. And I speak for us. And that gives me a joy.
Ask my friends what's my red flag.
You can't get rid of me, bitch. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going no fucking where.
All I'm gonna say is to the man that get her, he lucky. But to the man that keep her, he's smart.
I ain't saying you can't do what you want to do. I just ain't going for it.
I think I'ma just be single until Jesus come, and then I'ma just ask him, do he want to be with me? Because at this point, I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm about to cry just thinking about it. I don't know what the fuck to do.
I'm a block on my motherfucking phone tomorrow, Yvette.
All right, Jody, damn.
Stupid ass, man. I can't believe you. What the fuck you doing? Sitting on the phone telling them all my personal business? He on the phone talking about, yeah, I know you still living with your mama. I don't want to hear that shit.
If you don't come be with me right now, I'm gonna blow your mama car up. And I'm gonna tell her I did. Cause I'm gonna tell you she never brought him in this world.
I ain't got no leash, but put this around your neck since you want to be a dog so bad. So I can walk you. And yeah, give me that card. Thank you. No, the other one. The black one. Yeah.
Hello.
Man, I think me and you need some space, man.
Space? What you mean, like space or space?
Space as in separate.
Okay, well, you can go in the living room and I go in the other room. What you talking about?
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about seeing other people. Like, meet other people.
Okay, then you want to meet other people?
Yup.
You want to meet other people?
Yup.
Okay, I tell you what then. You can meet God, and I'm going to go meet the judge. Them the only doggone people. You going to meet somebody here with me. You with me until you die, okay?
You can't get rid of me, bitch. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going no fucking where.
See, I was about to sit down with one nigga, but then I got my hair done. I was like, fuck that. These niggas need me. I'm that bitch, period. Hey guys, let's do a pregnancy bump update. So I am now, get this fucking baby out of me weeks along. The baby is the size of a fucking whale and what sounds like at least 5 painful stitches. My main symptom is bitch.